These are the three things that are holding you back from being successful as a short-term rental host. Are you ready to dive in? Do you have time? Because if you tell me that you don't have time, I'm just gonna tell you that's the adult version of your dog ate your homework, right? You have to have time. So if you stay with me for the next 7 to 8 minutes, I literally can transcend you from being a host that's just doing all the shit on your own to literally being a business owner with your one short-term rental. Now, if you have 3, 4, or 5, you probably want to pull out the pad and start taking notes, no question. So I've lived the exact scenario that you're in. You're literally doing your own revenue management. You're doing all your guest messaging. You're trying to do your listing optimization. You're moving images around like you're whatever that wizard is from the Avengers, Doctor Strange, right? You think you got all the mojo going, but you don't because you don't have time. And you sure as heck, if you've got a W-2 or you're a busy entrepreneur like me, you are not putting in enough time at literally the right times to be able to do any type of off-platform marketing or even revenue management because you're not spending enough time researching. A lot of people think that you just go in and you set up PriceLabs and go through their trainings and you're a revenue manager. You're not. It is way more in-depth than that. So I want to break these things down for you. And I'm going to give you my 3 secrets that I've used to build super properties and turn those into a super portfolio to have the super life that I have today. It all starts with SOPing each individual task that you need to do. And what I mean by that is I don't need you to like sit down or go to Scribe and type everything out, but just pull out your phone, go to your voice memo app and just make 2 or 3 minutes of notes, like about how you update your listing, how you do listing optimization. Then open up a new memo and go in and do a voice memo about how you're managing your revenue management. And then go in and do another voice memo about what you do. And I'm talking about tactical, the tasks, what you do, when you do it, how often you're doing it for your off-platform marketing. Just those 3 things. And I'll bet most of you don't have any type of system. You just get to it when you have time to be able to get to it because your job, your business, your kids, your dog, church, everything else becomes a higher priority. I'm just like you. I'm just a regular average Joe. I live that exact same life. And that's why I handed off number 1. Last year, I handed off 100% of my revenue management because I would rather be snowboarding or fly fishing or teaching you guys how to find the right markets, how to underwrite properties, how to do all these things, the off-platform marketing, than spending my time researching my comps and playing around inside of PriceLabs. I have Emil Sekel from Pricing by Mira does all of my revenue management now. He's an OG in my mastermind. That means original gangster. He's been with me for coming up on 6 years. I've been able to teach him. That is one benefit, right? But he got into the revenue management thing on his own. It's not like I taught him revenue management. I was really good at revenue management. I would say I'm probably one of the top 5 revenue managers in the industry because I do take those 2 extra steps. I do the deeper outlining research. But you know what? I have not prioritized time for that. And once I identified that, hey, you know what? I'm not able to really maximize my revenue any longer because I'm not allocating enough time. I'm not prioritizing enough time to it. I've either got to eat my own saying of, hey, that's the adult version of the dog ate my homework, or I need to delegate and hand that off. I had Emil start with 2 super properties in the Outer Banks that ended up doing $1.1 million combined in revenue in its first year, and that was the proof in the pudding, and then I handed him my entire portfolio. All my properties I co-host, all my properties that I own, my property managed properties, all of those things. And most of you are probably not as good of a revenue manager as I am. You're definitely not as good as Emil. So when you do switch to somebody like that, that's where you're going to immediately see, 1, you get all that time back. So if you're putting in 2 hours a week, that's 8 hours a month that you get back of your time, and you're probably going to see a 20 to 30% increase in your revenue as well. Are you ready to run your STR business like a real business? Baselane gives you everything you need in one place. Saves you hours every single month on your banking side and reconciling all the stuff that we all hate doing as STR owners in the back end in bookkeeping. Look, protect your money. You don't want to be mixing personal funds and property funds. That's a total rookie mistake. Baselane keeps you organized and your funds separate. It is the easy button if you're using Stessa or QuickBooks or any other component, and especially if you're a co-host or have multiple properties like me, because it quickly you can go in and you can add property after property after property and set everything up individually. Even when you go to Costco and you buy $300 worth of toilet paper for 3 properties at one time, 1 click, split, 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 boom, it all gets assigned to the correct property. I've got a special deal for you from Baselane. All you have to do is start today and get a free $100 when you sign up for Baselane and fund your account, and they'll drop it right into your account when you get started. Number two, what happens at 11:30 at night and the toilet breaks? Are you awake? Are you answering your phone? Are you waking up every 30 minutes? Hey, is there an Airbnb notification? Did my PMS send me an email or a text message? No, you're probably in non-REM stage 4 sleeping. Or maybe you're so stressed out and you got so much cortisol going on because you have 5 or 10 properties or you're a co-host that you can't sleep and you actually do see those messages. That's not good for your health. There's 2 options here to be able to solve this problem. I'm going to start with number 1 in a piece of software, and it's called HostBuddy. It's AI-driven messaging, and it machine learns, and it will actually go in and will go through the last 6 months of all of your guest messaging to learn, and then you can feed it other information, your touch stay guides or workbooks or SOPs or whatever you have, or even past messaging you can copy and paste out of Airbnb or your PMS and link it in. And it's really, really good. I can actually get you, and they have a 14-day free trial. If you want to try it for 44 days, just use my name, Bill, at checkout, and you can get 44 days to test it out and try it for yourself. It's so powerful. We've actually built SOBs and trainings specifically around this tool for my Inner Circle and Mastermind members. We're deploying it across all of our properties. We've got it maybe in Chris, 5 or 6 right now. And it's unbelievable how good it is if you use critical thinking and feed it, right? So it's not just about Wi-Fi, it's about everything that goes on inside of your property. So that's what it learns as you feed it all of your messaging. You'll see the question that the guest asked, then it will see the answer, and then it will repeat that answer. Number 3 is strsuperva.com. That is a VA sourcing company that's owned by Jesse and JT Nicasso. Just about 13 months ago, they joined my mastermind. We're sitting in a mastermind in Whitefish, and they tell me about this exit that they had with like over 500 VAs when they were in the Philippines. And these guys own and co-host over 100 properties in like 9 countries, and like 60 or 70 of them are here in the US. They own all over the country as well. They're great hosts, but they're even better because they have all of these internal connections to source and vet VAs specifically. I've got a VA, they do one task for me. They manage my Facebook group marketing strategy. That's it. I think her name's Diane. I've got another VA. All she does is build out sales pages and website pages and stuff like that for us. And we put a lot of my templates in the Market My STR and those types of things. We have one that's an executive admin. I've got one that just does video editing. We've had him for 8 years, 7 years. Those are the things that give you your time back and give you scale, because we're all looking to scale. I just had a conversation with Chris before we started this podcast. Like, dude, we need 4 to 5, maybe even up to 7 additional VAs. Here's the secret. A lot of you try to get a VA that's a generalist and have them do 3 or 4 or 5 different tasks, and it doesn't work. And it doesn't work not because they can't do it, because you are not good enough at training them on your processes and what you want out of 4 or 5 different things. I've learned that over the years, and now that's why we're plugging VAs in for one task only, one skill set only. Don't have your social media VA be the video editor and the copywriter and handing your gut messaging. That's probably not going to work out very well. I think we need a total of like 10 to 12 VAs to cross over from Build Short-Term Rental Wealth to Kiva Vacation Rentals to Bill's owned portfolio, all of those different types of things, so we can segment them. And you don't need to go and add them all the time. We haven't done that. We're scaling up with them, right? 1, it's cheaper than hiring full-time employees. And 2, that's how you can sleep at night. You might have one that's managing HostBuddy, in the nighttime, because like in Central Time where I'm at, I think like 7 o'clock here is like 8 a.m. in the Philippines, right? So that's one of the reasons I love that, because it's completely reversed. I can put them on 3rd shift, to be able to manage something. But then like you got to make sure that you have somebody that's committed to work at night and be on their 3rd shift, which I have to do with Diane, because she needs to be on our time zones in the US for all of our social media strategy. Those are things that I want you to think about. Those: revenue management, HostBuddy, and STR Super VA. And I'm going to give you the add-on bonus as number 4, and that's Market My STR. I know a lot of you might be using other all-in-one marketing platforms, but I was an original HubSpot guy. I was a 33rd customer at HubSpot. I was with them for a decade, literally went to Inbound 1. If you've been to the ones now that have 20,000 people, when we had 400 people and Guy Kawasaki was the keynote and nobody was there. I wore orange and black. I built a marketing agency on the back of HubSpot. I helped them build out their agency program. I love HubSpot, but it's so expensive, right? And you can get, like in Market My STR, it's the gold standard all-in-one marketing platform inside the short-term rental space. It's built by me, by Scott Hill. scale specifically for me and you as short-term rental hosts, and also for co-hosts and property managers. I mean, the CRM, the sequencing, the text messaging, the sales process, the contract signing, the appointment scheduling for Calendly, the email marketing. You get access to all of my templates in regards to the 265-day funnel. You get all of my sales page templates for the individual properties. There's no reason to go spend $3,000 or $4,000 to build out a custom website. You can have it all right inside of that platform. Those are my 4 secrets of how I take a property and turn it into a super property. It's about revenue management, it's about marketing, and it's about creating scale. And those are the 4 ways that I do it. If you found any value here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode.